This is your Weather Extreme video for Sunday, November the 29th. I'm meteorologist Brian Peters. Thanks for tuning in. Got a weather pattern that's going to be fairly active for the week ahead. Let's get right to the maps. There's a look at the surface pattern for today. And while we're under high pressure, we do have a bit of what we consider to be a stationary front. That is, it's not moving very much just to our northwest, and that is allowing for some rain to develop, especially across the area northwest and north of the Interstate 20 corridor. In the upper atmosphere, we have this big closed low out over the western United States, while over the eastern half of the country, we're dominated primarily by an upper ridge, but that southwesterly flow pattern, as you can see, is bringing a good deal of moisture out of the Pacific. Across the United States, we do have a number of winter weather advisories, those areas that are in purple, pink, and sort of red across the central part of the United States. And then we do have some flash flood watches, the dark green, along with some flood warnings, the brighter green. On the radar, you can see that we actually did see some rain creep into North Alabama overnight, and that is along and just ahead of that stationary front. So we're going to see rain off and on for the next several days, actually through about the first half of Wednesday, so it's going to be a wet start to the week. Temperatures across central Alabama are fairly mild. Actually, our average high for this time of year is 61, and actually most temperatures across central Alabama at the time this chart was prepared are showing to be in the 60s, so we're already at our typical afternoon highs. And on the satellite image, you can see that the clouds have crept in, and we're going to see a cloudy days for the next several days. QPF-wise, for the moisture and the rainfall, the WPC, the forecast showing that we do have on the order of 4 to 6 inches of rain possible in a band roughly from northern Mississippi across North Alabama and into eastern Tennessee. And that is all rain along that front. And Storm Prediction Center map is clear for day 1 and 2 and 3, so you won't see those maps here. The tropical cyclone activity for the Atlantic Basin as we're winding down the 2015 hurricane season. We're not having any areas to be suspicious about, and the same is true in the eastern Pacific. All right, let's get to the 06Z GFS model run this morning, and there's our surface map, and we do have that stationary front lying across the southeastern U.S., and along that front we'll see little waves of low pressure move along, and that will help to create some off and on rain. The front doesn't move much, and that's because it is basically parallel to the flow aloft, so there's no push until that big low out over the western United States begins to move our way, and that should begin on Tuesday. We see that the front's a little more identified on Tuesday, and the surface low moving up into the western Great Lakes. In the upper atmosphere, that closed low is beginning to come out, but it's kind of coming out against the ridge, so it's moving up into the Great Lakes area, and as a result, the front is staying close to us. But finally, it moves by on Wednesday, and that should be the day that we see some changes as the front finally gets enough to push by. The upper flow does leave a bit of a low pressure area back over the lower Mississippi River Valley on Thursday, and so we'll see some clouds, but it looks like the rain should be confined to the area south of Alabama. By Friday, the upper short wave has become a closed low, actually, but it's moving by fairly quickly, so we should see high pressure moving in. That should pave the way for a nice weekend. And we come under a ridge on Saturday, and once again, that should give us a nice weekend with temperatures about typical for this time of year, with highs around 60 and lows around 40. By Sunday, we are watching this fairly deep trough come out of the western United States, especially the southwestern United States, and that is going to cause or could cause some issues for the southeastern U.S., but that's in the extended period. And looking out into the extended period, we can see that and what we call week 2 or voodoo country, we can see that deep closed low, and it's a cold core low. So you know what James says, cold core low, weatherman's woe. We'll have to be watching for the development of any kind of winter weather, but it's very iffy at this point, so we'll just be watching it. By the time we get out to Wednesday, that is long gone, and we're under a little more zonal kind of flow with a bit of a weak trough coming by. And then we get out to the end of the period around the 14th of December. We see once again another ridge, and we're watching another close low coming in out of the southwestern U.S. So likely to be an active weather pattern as we remain in a very strong El Nino. Well, that'll do it for the Weather Xtreme video for this morning. James Spann should be back with the next edition first thing on Monday. In the meantime, stay tuned to the blog for notes on Alabama's weather. I'm meteorologist Brian Peters. Have a great Sunday and Godspeed.